The sanitised version that we have got of the land wars from the victors is a long way from the truth. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the community of Tauranga to engage with our history and to learn about what happened in the past and how we've gotten to the point that we are today.
It just needs to be acknowledged that at that time Maori got overwhelmed by the very thing that the missionaries and Maori were concerned about in this area, which was colonisation.
If only our ancestors had paused and arbitrated, we might not have seen the deterioration of the relationship between particularly the CMS mission and Māori.
Our family history has it that the relationships that existed in those days around the time of the Battle of Gate Pa and afterwards were community and relational in a good sense.
People here in Tauranga, our people were going about their business, being gardeners, being fisher folk, enjoying the fruits of their labours.
The battles were about land, about people wanting land, and that goes for all battles, not just for Pukehinena.
As far as my ancestors were concerned, they were put up against a wall with guns aiming at them. In fact, they had signed 24 years earlier a treaty that said something totally different to what actually happened on this hill. That treaty is Waitangi.
The whole thing about that verse, if your enemy hungers, give him food, if he thirsts, give him water. Well, the verses prior to that talk about your relationships and the right relationships you should have with your neighbours, your people. And the verse after it says, don't repay evil with evil.
There were generations, there were whānau who were suddenly cut off so that they no longer had uri coming through, and that is a major sad point for us this day.
The subsequent invasion of settlers to this area obliterated any memory of Maori, and that's reflected in the place names that actually celebrate those people who actually failed on the day.
This story needed to be told, and I've always believed if you want to grow free-range kids, feed them backyard stories. And this is the backyard story of Tauranga that hasn't been told.
We have to somehow try and get in someone else's shoes and walk their journey for a while and imagine what life's been like for them before we can really come together and understand each other.
I'm not a person who wants future generations to carry the burden or grievance or any guilt. That was carried to the grave by our previous generations. Now is the time for reflection and commemoration and doing what we preach.